We're gonna do a video that I should have done from the very beginning. Hey guys, welcome back to the Everything Anime Podcast. I'm your host Shinry. Here at the Everything Anime Podcast, talk about everything from anime, manga, video games, TV shows, and whatever relevant topics I talk about. Today's video is a unique video that I should have done from the very start of my channel. It is ranking every anime or manga I've read or seen. Now, if you've seen our ranking videos, we don't do everything from A, B, C, or D. We don't do everything from like best to worst. We use our own ranking tier list that we feel represents our thoughts and characters. But since this one's not specifically a One Piece ranking video, I've kind of mixed it up. And so the way I do it is this time at S rank is GOAT. It's the greatest of all time. It's a manga that you'll love to read. Everyone will love to read. There will be some haters, obviously. This is a subjective list, and it's my list. But I consider these like the greatest anime of all time. Endless, so much like rereadability, so much rewatchability, so much like, you know, conversation, speculation, talk about things, theories, analyzation videos. That's what I call the GOAT tier. After that, I have read it and I loved it. Read it and loved it is like, it's not the greatest of all time, but it's one that I still consider like passionately great. Like, I loved the series, I loved reading it, or maybe I loved watching it. You know, it's just short of that being one of the top tier for me, but it's still like a high level for me. After that, I have read it and liked it. It means it was good. I saw a lot of flaws. It could have been better. But I finished it. Usually this is like a show I finished or like something I got into and I liked for a while, or I possibly didn't even finish because like maybe it had a premise that I liked, but I just never fully committed, you know what I mean? After that, I have read it and might forget it or already forgot it. There's like one or two series for sure on here that I started or had like an interest in and then just kind of lost completely. Like, I was just like, I forgot what's going on, or I stopped caring about what's going on, or the story just got convoluted, or the writing got convoluted, or whatever reason I stopped reading or watching. And you'll know which one that is when I get there. And skip it means I've heard about it. I might have watched an episode, might have seen a scene. I know of it, but I never started it. So I skipped it. Or I did start like episode 1 and I was just like, no. Or I did read chapter 1 and I was like, no. Or I could have read a couple chapters, watched a couple episodes, and then it was just like, no, never went back to it. There's definitely some of those too. Or even one that I finished and I was like, this went nowhere, skip it, save your time. But again, this is a subjective list. You might notice these bandages on my face. That's because my dog bit my face. He's fine. But yeah. So I tried to give him a kiss and he gave me a kiss back, but not the kind I wanted. But anyways, let's get on to the video. And oh, by the way, there will be some clips I'm gonna try mixing in here. I've added a disclaimer to the beginning of the video because I want to like make it known like these clips are just for entertainment and commentary purposes. So if there's like any pauses, it's because a clip was there, but maybe Toei Animation, Avatar: Last Airbender, somebody wanted me to take it out. You know, that's what I mean. So, yes, because Avatar: Last Airbender was made in Japan, so I'm considering it an anime/manga. So, yeah, it will be on this list as well. All right, now let's get into the video. All right, as you guys can see, we have quite a bit of anime to go through, so we're going to make this really fast, or I'll just give a brief summary of my thoughts on each one. And as I said before, we only have 5 tier lists this time. We have S rank for GOAT, greatest of all time. Second rank is read it, loved it. Third rank is read it, liked it. Read it, might forget it, or forgot it. And then last is skip it. And so we're going to start out with Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. 5Ds, I remember I watched it. And what I did see, I liked synchro summoning, especially now because I play Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. I use a lot. My best card is, I call him Ultimate Tojin Yo, but he's like the great, or Ishin He's a 6 samurai synchro summon. He's the best one because he can negate and destroy one spell or trap once per turn. Per turn, like my turn and my opponent's turn, so like 2 traps or spells destroyed each game or each like back to back. You know what I'm saying? It's the best card. So I'm gonna say read it and liked it. This also counts for like watching the anime. As I said, like this is either read it or read the manga or watched the anime. And this one I've only seen the anime. I did not finish it. That's why I can't say I love it. Well, I can still love it and not finish it, but like I kind of got uninvested with the show like towards the end. Like there was something with like Rainbow Dragon. I just kind of fell off. But 5D is definitely worth watching. I'll say that. It's definitely worth watching. Akame ga Kill. I remember this being short, which isn't bad. And I remember liking the ice chick because she was crazy. And the main character that we thought we were following was like, he was the main character, but there was the other chick whose sister was evil and she had to kill, that was actually the main character. Or like he was like, you know, like in Shaman King, like Yo's the main character, but we follow his friend, the human. It's kind of like that. And so I'm going to give it a love it because of the ice chick. I haven't seen a Akame ga Kill in a long time. And I remember like there was one guy, and everybody dies like once per episode. But I remember like there was this giant scissor guy that I liked, or a girl. I don't remember it well, but I remember that I loved it. So that's why Akame ga Kill is going to go there. Assassination Classroom. Easily hands down a GOAT anime. I don't remember how I got into Assassination Classroom. I don't know if it was my friend Silver, but I've been showing it to my nephew Sean, and he loves it. He does like the dance where they do that. But also, just the premise that the whole show is about killing your teacher, your alien teacher. And he does it in like this like sympathetic way, this like emotional way. It's very, hold on, sorry guys. Let me pause this. Sorry about that. He does it in this emotional way. It's very like, it humanizes him, even though you're supposed to think of him as a villain. It humanizes him in a great way, and it makes you love the character. And I saw the ending. I finished Assassin's Classroom a long time ago. It is one of the greatest anime I've ever seen. It's only 2 seasons, but there's so much emotion into it. Oh, and then on top of that, the I taught this to my nephew. The first episode where like, you know, he runs up to him with the knife and he drops it and claps in his hand, and like it like stuns the guy, or like not maybe that was the first episode. It might have been, but I did that to my nephew and it worked because he was just so confused. I ran at him with this like plastic knife, not a real knife, obviously. It was a plastic toy knife, and then I clapped in front of his face because I dropped the knife. His eyes went after the knife, and it just kind of on guard. And I taught him that was from Assassination Classroom, and now he loves it, and I love Assassination Classroom, so it's gonna get a high rank for that. Ooh, Attack on Titan. If you saw my Attack on Titan review, the manga review, you know Captain Levi is my dude. He is my dude. But you also know I fell off like somewhere in season 3. Like Attack on Titan at some point. I read the manga too. Yeah, I read the manga and watched the anime. Attack on Titan. I'm very biased about. The ending of the manga and anime, and especially Captain Levi, definitely gave me a love it. But I do think it got really complicated in the beginning. Or no, the middle. Because the beginning was fine. The beginning was fine. Some part when the gunslingers came in, I kind of liked it. But there was a lot of middle part that I didn't like. But it is still a GOAT anime because of Captain Levi. Because Eren actually killed 80% of humanity. Not that that's a good thing. The backstory of Ymir's backstory literally drew me so crazy. I was like, this king imprisoned a young girl, and then he set her free because she let some pig free, tried to kill her. She turned into a titan. He made her like the king of his army or like leader of his army. She would go out and fight for him, and then he was like, "Oh, you've done so well. You can bear my children." A prison child grew up into an adult or a teenager. I don't know how old she was when she bared his children, and then she tried to commit suicide. And he's like, "I know you can't die from that." And then he makes her children eat her so he can keep the Titan blood flowing. That backstory was so fucked up, but it got a lot of emotion out of me because I was so pissed and angry about it. So that's why, as I said, that's why Attack on Titan, even though I don't like the middle part of it, the beginning is great, the premise is great, the ending is great, the middle part's boring, but still a go-to anime. Beyblade. I don't know if you know this about me. The original Beyblades used to destroy cities. They used to destroy cities. The original Beyblades were so... There was a vampire blade. There was at one point they fought actual monsters. There was a vampire Beyblade that, like... I don't think it drank blood, but, like, it would rip up your Beyblade. There was a werewolf Beyblade. There was a Frankenstein Beyblade. There was a mummy Beyblade. And it was, like, wrapped in like, mummy wrappings. The first time they would use their ultimate Bit Beast attacks, Dragon Ultimate Storm, Trigger Tiger Claw, Dronzer Fire, whatever, Drasil, the water thing. Legendary status. Beyblade, the original series, is a GOAT tier anime. I would get up at 6 o'clock in the morning just to watch this anime. I had to go to school school every morning. I would get up just to watch Beyblade. The original Beyblade is so fire. Trust me. If you have not seen the original Beyblade, I'm not talking about G4. I mean, we're going to get the V Force and G Revolution, but we ain't talking about no Beyblade Burst. Fuck that shit. I know y'all like that. Go watch the original Beyblade. The animation might not hold up, but it's still great. Storytelling-wise and everything. Especially Grandpa. Pokemon Black and White. I actually didn't watch Black and White. I watched 1 or 2 episodes. The reason why I'm just going to go high, though, that I like it, not like high. The reason why it's going to go on a like it tier, the first episode of Black and White, Team Rocket, who normally, whenever, hold on, let me make sure this is recording. Okay, it's recording. Had to be sure. Normally, when Team Rocket blast off, they're like, flown into the sky, thundershock, whatever, some attacks send them out, blasting out there. We're blasting off again. We all know that. Anybody that watch Pokemon, even if you don't watch Pokemon, you know we're blasting off again. In Black and White, the first episode, Team Rocket, after they lose, they pull out some jetpacks and fly off. And I remember saying, when I watched that first episode, I was like, that is Team Rocket. Not my Jesse and James. And I kept watching, and every episode Team Rocket would lose, they would fly off in a jetpack like they were like actual criminal bosses, like criminal masterminds. It blew my mind how changed Jesse and James were. Although I just couldn't watch it because of the girl with the Dragonite that was scared of ice Pokemon, and then she kept calling Ash a kid. She was getting on my nerves. And then the connoisseur guy who was trying too hard to be Brock, he was like, "Oh, I'm a connoisseur of this, I'm a connoisseur of that, I'm a connoisseur of this." I'm like, shut the fuck up. I don't even remember their names. Iris, I think, and whatever green hair dude was. But I just, aside from Team Rocket, that's the reason I liked it, is because of that. Also, if you don't know this, bro, Jesse and James, the reason why they don't have wheezing and coughing, yes, because every generation of Pokemon we get new starters, but Jesse and James, the reason why they actually give up wheezing and Arbok is because there was this like Pokemon poacher that was chasing after Ekans and coughing, and he would like, you know what poachers do, like he was like basically trying to like capture them and abuse them. And Jesse and James, they told Arbok and Weezing, like, protect them and we'll like stop this poacher. The episode ends with Jesse and James getting beat up by this poacher and his Pokemon, while Ekans leads Arbok leads all the Ekans away, and Weezing leads all the coughing away. And it just ends like that. It is a very sad note. It was crazy. It blew my mind. I don't know why the computer just turned off. Give me 1 second, guys. That should be the last pause for now. All right. After that, we have Back Butler. Back Butler, I didn't read the manga. I only watched the... I didn't read the manga. I only watched the anime. I remember Black Butler. And I think it continued past where I ended. But I liked it enough. I didn't love it. But it was entertaining. Like... it's definitely different. Like, Sebastian is what made it entertaining, not the actual guy, the kid prince or king, whatever. He was annoying, but I did love it because of Sebastian. Sebastian has some great humor, and so I'm gonna give it a like it. Well, I liked it more than Pokemon Black and White, and I liked it more than 5Ds. I'm gonna give it a love it because of, like I said, Sebastian. Sebastian has great humor. There's also like this Grim Reaper who's like very horny for Sebastian. Sebastian's a demon, by the way. He's a demon butler. Like, you sign a contract with these butlers, and they'll do whatever you want, but in exchange, they get your soul at the end of when you're supposed to die. They won't kill you, but they'll protect you until you're naturally supposed to die or when you're ready to die, and then they'll just take your soul. So the reason Black Butler's going, and I love it, and Reddit / watched it, is because of Sebastian. Sebastian's just amazing. Black Clover, greatest of all time, hands down. There is no contest when it comes to Black Clover. I love Asta. Asta, I read when the manga came out, when the new big three, My Hero Academia, Demon Slayer, and Black Clover came out, I actually hated all three of them. I'd read My Hero Academia. I would read Black Clover. I didn't read Demon Slayer at first. Y'all know that. But I liked Asta kind of once I saw him use anti-magic, which I knew was the first chapter of the manga. But, like, literally seeing him use it all the time, and like how expertly he would like mix it up. Like, yeah, you would think like that's just like OP, like he's gonna one off everybody, but there's more to it than that. Especially when you meet the Black Bulls. The Black Bulls have slowly become my favorite. Like Magna is like my top favorite. Then is Luck, the lightning dude, because he's crazy as fuck. Or let me say it this way: Magna, Asta, Luck. Those top three favorites. And then the rest of the Black Bulls kind of sprinkle in. They're interchangeable. But the Black Bulls definitely sold me. Black Clover is one of the greatest manga of all time. If you're not reading Black Clover for whatever reason, if it's because you stopped with the elves, go past that. There's more to it. If you stopped even before that, there's more to it. Black Clover is great. Especially, what's the Black Clover Zord of the Wizard King? My Sword of the Wizard King. Sorry, I say Zord, not Sword. Or, yeah. And my nephew, who's not even caught up in Black Clover, he watched the movie and he loved it. And it made him want to get more into Black Clover. But he also will say there's a joke where, you know, like Asta's always doing push-ups. He's like, I have to do 100 push-ups. My nephew will randomly just be like, oh, it's push-up time. I gotta do 100 push-ups. He's really crazy. But I love Asta because of that. Next up, we got Bleach. There's no doubt that Bleach is one of the greatest anime of all time. When the big three happened, I don't care what you think, One Piece was not number one. Naruto was not number one. It was Bleach. Bleach was at number one, then Naruto, then One Piece. When it slowly changed, One Piece became number two, Naruto became number three, and Bleach became number one. It is not to say that all three of these mangas are not one of the greatest of all time. It is to say that Bleach had always had that top spot. The way Kubo would draw his background imagery around the characters, like the setting, it seemed unnecessary. Like, nowadays mangas, you have the two characters and you have like a white panel or you have like just random lines in the background. No, go back and read the original Soul Society manga to the beginning of Bleach, or the beginning of Bleach to Soul Society. Look at that manga. There is so much detail. T. Kubo, before he like lost his way, I mean, he found it again, obviously. We had the 1,000-Year Blood War. But before he lost his way, he was the GOAT of manga. He was the number one talk of all time. Do not let anybody trick you. Not no Naruto fans, not no One Piece fans, most of which I am a part of. Bleach was the number one pick. Next up, we got Blue Exorcist. I read it and forgot it. I also watched it and forgot it. I know Blue Exorcist has fans out there. I know that. But I have yet to want to get back into this manga or anime. I don't know what it is. It definitely has a great premise. It definitely has entertainment value. But I'm not being drawn back in yet. But I know that it's great. Next, we have Bo. I own the complete season of a complete series to this on DVD. Every time, I kid you not, every time I throw an episode on, I zone out. I love anime. I love humor. I love funny gags. But Bobobo, if you don't know, is about... Okay, so there's these guys that are called, like, hair hunters. And basically, they want to make the whole world bald. They're collecting everybody's hair. And Bobo has the power of nose hairs. And he has, like, a giant afro. And, like, his power comes from nose hairs. But there's more to it. Bobo can literally do whatever he wants. Like, you think Joy Boy from One Piece is overpowered? Bobo... This man in a fight summoned Yugi out of his afro. And then Yugi summoned Slifer the Sky Dragon. And Slifer the Sky Dragon took somebody out. You can't make it up. But despite I like Bobo, it's honestly forgettable. I'll watch an episode and don't even know what the fuck happened because I zone out. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is my subjective list. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't ever fucking remember what happens in Bobo. No. I just can't. I can't. I'm sorry. Next up, we got Bungo Stray Dogs. Bungo Stray Dogs, it was introduced to me by Silver. Bungo Stray Dogs is very creative. Like, there's this doctor that can only heal you if you're close to dying or about to die. And if you're, like, injured, she will literally hack you to death and then heal you completely. There's this guy that can make anything as long as it's smaller than his notebook. Literally. So, like, and his notebook's like this big, so it can be like a knife or a grenade, a gun, or like a pistol, whatever, but it has to be smaller than his notebook. There's a guy that can stop all of your powers as long as he's touching you. If he's physically touching you, you can't use your powers. I like Bungo Stray Dogs a lot, and I'm going to say I love it because it is so creative with how it limits its character's abilities. There is nobody too OP in Bungo Stray Dogs because you literally have to, like, mind game or mind fuck with your opponent to beat them. You know, like, unlike every other manga that, like, you know, you come up with a new ability or power, you go Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, Super Saiyan 4, you unlock Barry and Mode Naruto, you unlock Gear 5th Luffy. No, Bungo Stray Dogs, there's no new powers. You just have to be creative with how you defeat your opponent. D. Grayman. Already forgot it. I don't know if you guys noticed, when D. Grayman came out, I read it actually, like, faithfully. But at some point towards the end, the chapters stopped coming out weekly. They wouldn't even come out monthly. A chapter would drop, and this is like on a, like, do y'all remember Manga Fox or Manga Stream? That's when chapters used to drop, like how we used to read manga before we had Shonen Jump app. D. Grayman would drop one day, and then another in a year. And then another in 2 weeks, and then another in 4 months, and then another none at all. And I remember when D. Grayman went on a super hiatus. And I forgot everything that happened because I was like, I forgot the last place this character was in. And then the series just kind of ended. Like, D. Grayman's main character started looking like a clown, and then he killed the main villain, and then the guy with the ponytail died or killed him, or I don't even remember. And it sucks because D. Grayman was fun. Maybe if I ever buy the complete series or can watch the series again, I'll get more into it. But it was forgettable, unfortunately, for me because the manga would just drop so randomly. But maybe one day we'll review it on the channel or something. Dead Man Wonderland. I never actually finished this. But there's a reason why. It was on Netflix at one point. And it's going to go and I love it. I did it too early. I never got to finish it. But I love the premise of it. First of all, this kid goes to school one day. And then, like, this creature uses a blood tornado, kills everybody in the room. And the kid gets framed for it. And he goes to prison. And this prison is so fucked up where, like, everything in here can cut you, make you bleed. And that also activates your powers. Like, these guys are like blood users. Like, their blood turns into weapons. That premise is so fucking cool. I want to know how it ends. I need to find the complete series. That's why I'm going to put it. I love it, even though I haven't finished it. It is such a cool premise. It's such a cool, unique thing. The kid being framed for killing all his classmates. blood arts, a prison that wants them to use their powers and knows about these abilities. So fucking cool. I have to know more from Dead. I have to know more from Dead Man Wonderland. I have to know more. So I hope to find out. Death Note. Easily one of the greatest manga of all time. The first half. The second half, not so much. The second half of Death Note, after he kills L, literally takes a nosedive. Literally. There were so many cool scenes in the first half of Death Note. Like how he took out the woman that was following him. How he took out the guy on the bus. How he took out... how he skated around his father, who's a part of the police. How he tricked Misa's Shinigami to kill L for him. And when he gets the notebook back in his hand, and he has to write that name inside of the helicopter on inside his watch without L noticing. Death Note was a GOAT anime because of how creative it was. Even though there are some things that it's like that doesn't make sense. But again, it's anime. You just have to go with it. Like for stories to exist, there has to be inconsistencies. Your characters have to be stupid sometimes. But I think it's one of the greatest anime of all time, despite the second half taking a nosedive. Despite that. Plus the speculation that Light is the Shinigami that Ryuk's talking to in the first episode in the beginning. And how you get the Shinigami eyes. Love all of that. Claps to Death Note. Demon Slayer. Currently reading it. But do I love it or do I like it? I know people are going to think it's a GOAT anime. I'm not there yet to think it's one of the greatest of all times. Again, this is a subjective list. You might say it's the greatest of all time. Where I'm at in the anime is a Swordsmith Village arc. And where I reading it is in the Spider Family arc. So I definitely like it. But I don't know if I love it yet. I do like Inosuke a lot. I think he's funny. I do love Zenitsu a lot. I think he's funny. Except when he's screaming about Nezuko. But you guys know about how I feel about that. The fucking cosplayers. Nezuko! Shut the fuck up. I do like the Mist Hashira. I like him a lot. I'm going to put Demon Slayer... But I like it more than 5Ds and black and white. Because I would watch it over black and white and 5Ds, I'm going to put it in I love it. Again, not the greatest of all time, but this is still pretty high. Pretty high for my tier list. So, that's where we're going to put Demon Slayer. We got to keep this ball rolling. Digimon. I'm sorry. I've not read the manga of Digimon. I watched some episodes and forgot what... Digimon is on Hulu, and I've watched it, and I kind of zone out. I'm sorry. I don't know. It doesn't catch my attention. And I know about Agumon. I know about, the original kids and, how they about Angelmon, Vampiremon. I watched the movie. I thought was great. When he's like, "You've got mail." And that's how they slow down the internet demon. All that was great as a kid. But I just don't... I'm not connected to Digimon like I am to Pokemon. The original Pokemon Indigo League is going to go high up. But I'm just not connected to Digimon. I'm sorry to anybody that's a Digimon fan. But I'm not connected there. So we're going to move on. Next we have Dr. Stone. I'm currently reading Dr. Stone for the first time. I have no knowledge of Dr. Stone at all. But if you know me, Dr. Stone is very clever. I love how it mixes science with real things and stuff like that. And how much fun I'm having with Dr. Stone tells me the rest of this is going to be great. So Dr. Stone is going in the greatest of all time manga. I have not finished it. It might end badly, but what I'm reading currently, what I've read currently, the tournament arc, all of that, Dr. Stone's personality, Dr. Stone's friend's personality, Chrome's personality, I think Dr. Stone is one of the greatest manga of all time. So far. That is my opinion, though. Next up, we have Dragon Ball. I know. I tried Dragon Ball so many times. but I just zone out. I don't know what it is about Dragon Ball. I just get so bored watching it. I don't know. Dragon Ball is just, it's not that entertaining to me. I'm sorry, guys. I don't like Dragon Ball. And I'm a Dragon Ball Z fan, but every time I watch, even when I'm watching the manga, watching the anime now, there are some scenes that are entertaining, some context I never knew, but like overall, I'm like, I don't see how I would never got hyped for Dragon Ball Z watching Dragon Ball. The godfather of anime, though, Dragon Ball Z, or at least that's what we call it, is going in greatest of all time. There's no question. We love Super Saiyan. It's iconic. We love Frieza. He's iconic. We love Cell. He's iconic. We love Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. He's iconic. We love Master Roshi. We love Boo. Kid Boo. You know, all of it. Dragon Ball Z, there's not even much to say. Over 9,000. You can't go any lower. Duel Masters. Duel Masters is a personal love for me. I played the card game as a kid, and I still would to this day if there were still Duel Master cards. Duel Masters is not as big as Yu-Gi-Oh! Here. It was, I think, when it first came out, was on TV, but I've never finished the anime because I can't find it. And as far as I know, there's no manga of it. But the video game, I still play, and would still play to this day. I have it on PS2. I'm going to put it in I love it. I can't call it the greatest of all time because I never finished it. But I love Shobu as a character. I love Kokujo, his friend, or rival, I think it was. But that's where I originally got my name for my character. Shobu Karafuda, Shobu Samurai, was from Duel Masters. I've said it many times. And Kokujo, his rival or friend, that's how I gave his friend Kokujo. So I definitely love it. Fairy Tail. If anybody knows me with Fairy Tail, I know Dragon Ball Z has their fake out death. Well, no, Dragon Ball Z kills their characters, but we just bring them back with Dragon Balls. So you can call that a fake out death. But I have gone on record to say Fairy Tail literally has the biggest fake out death. Someone will be like, I have to sacrifice myself. And then the other character's like, no, you don't have to do that. And they're like, I have to sacrifice myself. And they'll kill themselves. And then later they'll show up revived. Or they'll be like, I'm going to sacrifice myself to defeat this enemy. And then they turn into a child, which is the spirit of they turn into a child who is the son or daughter of the character they were fighting, but they don't know that. Or just seeing a future where they die, but then they reverse time where they could change it where they didn't die. Fairy Tail has the most fake out deaths. And the way they take down the dragon at the end, the master dragon that they've been hyping up, they put him on a ship. And Dragon Slayers hate ships because it gives them seasickness. And that's why they took him down. And I could not. But Fairy Tail was still fun to read. And Fairy Tail was also creative, though. I like Natsu. And it was made by the same guy that made Rave Master. I'm going to put it in I love it. Despite my problems with Fairy Tail, I still did have fun. I finished it. I would probably watch the manga. I would probably watch the anime and buy it if I see it. The complete series. So, yeah. We're going to give it I love it. You got lucky, Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail's lucky, though. It ain't going to be lucky that for everybody else. Next up, we have Fullmetal Alchemist. I'm doing the manga, which means I'm doing Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. I was going to put both versions on here. If I had put Fullmetal Alchemist on here, I would have put it in I liked it. And I would put Brotherhood in GOAT. Because Brotherhood is the actual manga anime version. Brotherhood is the manga adaptation faithfully, whereas Alchemist, they caught up to the manga and the manga wasn't finished, so they just wrote their own ending to it. But Brotherhood, everything Fullmetal Alchemist did, from the story to the creativity to alchemy to how to use their powers, all of that, Edward Elric's thing, the plot to the story, the transmutation, trying to bring their mother back to life, and then creating some kind of monster, losing his brother's entire body but resurrecting his soul, Ed losing his arm for his mother or leg for his mother, and then the other one for his brother. Very emotional, very touching. Powerful storytelling. Definitely one of the greatest manga of all time. Next, we have Beyblade G Revolution. Now, this is what I meant, like, where I would put Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood on here and then Full Metal Alchemist, but I just put Brotherhood to represent it. Beyblade G Revolution is its own thing. It is a spin-off series of the original Beyblade, same cast and characters, but they stopped being creative with their Beyblades. Like, the Beyblades all kind of look basic. They're not, like, creative as in the first season, but at the end, the very end, when Kai uses Dark Dranza, when Tyson battles Brooklyn, Tyson literally went Super Saiyan. Tyson literally flew into the sky with Dragoon and fought Brooklyn. That episode blew my mind. And I binged all of Beyblade from the beginning to B-Force, to G Revolution, like 2 years ago. So I remember vividly how great this is. Beyblade G Revolution is going in GOAT tier. It deserves its spot in GOAT tier. It just belongs there. Ooh, Galen's going to be mad about this one. Or Silver. Gintama. I have read Gintama. I have watched Gintama. But I've also zoned out of watching Gintama. I've kind of got bored reading Gintama. But I do like it. Gintama is definitely unique with his character, his design, his motivation, how the character acts. I definitely want to give it a like it. I can't say I love it. I'm not that far in Gintama. But it's definitely one I want to finish. Like, I'm curious about finishing Gintama. He's told me a lot about how great it gets. And other people, I know Gintama had its movie recently, and plus they're talking about a new season. So I know there's Gintama fans out there. But I'm just not there yet. So I'm going to give it a like it. After that, we have Dragon Ball GT. Skip it. I've never watched. I can't say that. I've never finished GT. But the episodes I watched were boring. I didn't even get to the 7-star dragons. I didn't even get that far. I didn't even get to Super Saiyan 4. I don't like the design of Vegeta. I don't like the design of Goten. I think Goten and Gohan look the same. Pan is cool, I guess, but she ain't doing much for me right now. I know they're like reviving her in the movies, especially the last one that just did the Dragon Ball Superhero. Amazing movie, definitely GOAT tier movie. But GT, I'm never gonna watch it. Skipping it. Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Generation X. I didn't read the manga. I did watch the show. I did catch up to the show. I never watched season 4, which I know is only subbed. And it has like the fight between Jaden and Yugi, which would probably be pretty epic. I liked Elemental Heroes, but I didn't love the show. I just liked it. And the season that we did end with Yubel is fine. But I don't love it. GX was good, but I don't love it. It has the same place as 5Ds for me. Maybe a little bit more than 5Ds, but they're still kind of the same. You know, in my opinion. Oh, that's my bandage. So I'm just going to leave GX at read it and liked it. Or watched it and liked it. Hitman Reborn. I read this. I think I liked it. But I never finished it. It was in the monthly Shonen Jump magazine when Shonen Jump would like release a book of manga once a month. I was reading it then. And it had such a good premise. And it says Reborn, so I think it was like an original Hitman, but that's the one I was reading. I was reading Hitman Reborn. I don't know much about Hitman Reborn, aside from what I read. And that was probably like 3 chapters. So I'm going to say read it, and I might forget it, or I forgot it. But I definitely read it. I want to go back and read it. Let me put it in like it. Because I'm at least interested enough to check it out again. Whereas, like, the Reddit and might forget it, I don't even know if I'd go back. Like, Bobo was hard to read. I mean, hard to watch for me. D. Gray Man, I finished that years ago, but like I said, I know that ending cuts really fast, and I don't like it. Digimon, I zone out. Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball, I zone out. Blue Exorcist, I zone out. So I don't want to put Hitman Reborn in that category where I feel like I would check it out and like it. Hunter x Hunter, easily the greatest of all time. Hunter x Hunter, if you're not reading Hunter x Hunter, I know the beginning of Hunter x Hunter is hard to get through, but once you get to that tournament, the Hunter's tournament, or the Hunter exam, bro, it takes off. Gon is one of the most lovable characters ever. Killua is one of the most badass characters ever. They are not copies of Naruto and Sasuke. They are not copies of Goku and Vegeta. They are not Zoro and Luffy. They are their own characters, and it's the same creator that wrote Yu Yu Hakusho, and Yu Yu Hakusho is one of the greatest of all time. So that already tells you where that one's going. Hunter x Hunter, Gon, especially Gon going adult form. When Gon literally blacks out, looking at that cat dude, like all serious, I got chills, bro. Hisoka is so fucking hilarious. Oh, Gon. My nephew, I was trying to show him the cool fight between Gon and Hisoka, and I forgot that Hisoka says, oh, Gon. Like, he's getting turned. Hisoka gets turned on when he fights powerful opponents. And, like, he knows Gon has potential, so he wants to kill Gon at his peak. And so that's what that, oh, Gon comes from. But my nephew will say that randomly. And I'm just like, you just gotta say that. He does it because I start laughing. So that makes him feel like it's funny. And it's so bad. But Hunter x Hunter is one of the greatest of all time. Pokemon Indigo League, no question about it. We all know Pokemon is Indigo League. We know Pokemon is GOAT tier. Original Pokemon is so good and creative. If you don't realize, the reason why Ash deserved to lose in the Indigo League is because he didn't earn any of his badges. The first badge, Brock, the sprinklers went off, which is illegal to then use how Pikachu used Thunderbolt. I don't care if Brock was like, oh, it was an accident, you used it to your advantage. No, Brock. He did not. That had nothing to do with skill. Misty, first of all, Misty, she would have lost. He would have definitely beat her with Pikachu, but Pikachu refused to fight. I think he had Bulbasaur at the time. Bulbasaur could have also one-shotted her. But instead of beating her, Team Rocket came in, fucked everything up, and they just gave him the badge. I don't remember all the badges in order, so I'm going to remember what I go off my memory. The insect lady, he saved Vileplume from a fire, so he just got that badge. He never fought her. He never beat her. The psychic girl, he never fought her or beat her. His haunter, which he went to get, just made her last, so she gave him the badge. That's 4 so far. Who else is in the Indigo League? Giovanni. He never fought Giovanni. That was, once again, Team Rocket just doing their shenanigans. And I think Team Rocket exploded. He got the Earth badge. So that's 6. There's 8 badges. We know he beat Blaine fair and square because, well, one, Charizard was ignoring Ash to begin with. Charizard listened to Ash because he saw Magmar as an opponent, which is smart. Because if you know this about Pokemon, if you catch a Pokemon higher than your badge level, they won't listen to you. They will ignore your commands. And I love that because it's so in tune with the games. Ash not earning his badges properly is why Charizard didn't acknowledge him. He knew Ash was not a strong trainer. He was not smart. Ash is creative, but he did not earn any of his badges. The other 2 badges, I can't remember who those gym leaders were, but he probably just got those badges for free too because Ash didn't earn any of his badges at all. They were just handing him out. Oh, he beat Lieutenant Sarge fair and square. Pikachu beat Raichu. That's right. So he earned 2 badges, I remember for sure. Even though I like Raichu better. Raichu gets disrespected in Pokemon. He has no screen time. But Ash did win the Lieutenant Surge badge fair and square. And he beat Blaine fair and square. So he might have won one more. He might have won that last badge fair and square. But again, I can't remember who that gym leader was. Oh, it was a Mankey one. Yeah, Primate. I think he earned that badge fair and square. Because I remember he got Mankey and it evolved into Primate. So he probably earned 3 of his 8 badges. 3 of 8 badges is like a level 30 Pokemon. Yeah, Charizard was not going to listen to you. So, still greatest of all time. Let's move on. Inuyasha. I just reviewed Inuyasha recently. All of it, including the movies. I love the movies. They were great. And I know Inuyasha is basically a love triangle. Isn't one of the greatest of all time, though. Sesshomaru's whispering in my ear. Sesshomaru just said he don't kill me if I don't put it in GOAT tier. So, for that reason, it's going in greatest of all time. Okay, Sesshomaru, chill. Chill, my dude. Chill, my dude. Sesshomaru's going to kill my ass if I went in GOAT tier. And Nick, too. My brother. Anyways, moving on. Inuyasha definitely deserves its place in greatest of all time. I do truly believe that. Pokemon Johto. GOAT tier. Actually, I don't even remember it. What I do remember from Johto is that Pokemon Johto. Everybody wants to be a master. Everybody wants to show this. Okay, I'm terrible at singing, so we're gonna stop. But it still deserves its place, and I love it because of the theme song. Because also how creative it was. Hitmontop's in that season. Heracross. That made me start loving fire Pokemon. Oh, and Totodile. I love Totodile. Totodile, Ash's Pokemon, always dancing. Love Totodile. Cyndaquil's cute too, but I hate how he evolves. And Chikorita's annoying as fuck. Go away, Chikorita. Go. Go over there with with who the other Pokemon I hate? That Firefox thing. Going over there with that. And some other ones that I don't remember. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. There are many seasons of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I'm on season 4. I know there's a season 5. Season 5 I zoned out. I watched up to season 4. I enjoy JoJo, but it is a very weird anime. But I also love Dio, especially with his Power of the World. I specifically chose for the thumbnail Stardust Crusaders because that was my favorite season. So, if I'm just talking about Stardust Crusaders or JoJo in general, I'd put it and I liked it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I wouldn't binge JoJo again. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure again. If I did, I'd pick Stardust Crusader season specifically. I know people said season 4 is the best, but not to me. I didn't care about it like that. So let's move on. Jujutsu Kaisen. Let me be fair with this one. I'm on season 2. Never read the manga. I talked about doing the manga at some point. Watched the movie. Loved the movie. Jujutsu Kaisen 0, which I guess was the original start of Jujutsu Kaisen, the prequel. But I don't know if it's the greatest of all time because I'm not that far. Although it is creative with its powers and abilities, and it is because it's creative with its powers and abilities. I'm gonna put it in one of the. I think it's better than these though. So you're gonna go on the greatest of all time because I think it's better than Black Butler, Akame Got Killed, Bungo Stray Dogs, Dead Man Wonderland. Wait, why is Bungo Stray Dogs and I love it? Did I not put Bungo Stray Dogs in greatest of all time? If I didn't, I'm moving Bungo Stray Dogs up. I think Bungo Stray Dogs is better than Demon Slayer and, well, this category. I think Bungo Stray Dogs is pretty creative. Especially, Dead Apple. Oh, I love Dead Apple. Yeah, Bungo Stray Dogs definitely deserves its place in GOAT tier. So if it wasn't in GOAT tier, it's moved up now. Mob Psycho 100. Hands down, one of the greatest manga of all time and anime. I was late to Mob Psycho. By the time I got to Mob Psycho, season 2 was out. I was in it before season 3, like a year or two before season 3 came out. But yeah, it is probably one of the greatest anime I have seen because it's more about like Mob's personality. It's not about. I mean, he does have powers. He does have psychic abilities. But there's like this hilarious gag where like his mentor, he's trying to learn from his mentor. And his mentor is just human, but like there are a lot of funny gags with his mentor who can't see ghosts, but Mob can. And you just have to watch it for yourself. But just trust me, Mob Psycho 100 is one of the greatest manga / anime of all time. After that, we have Naruto. Naruto, hands down, is one of the greatest manga of all time. That includes Naruto Shippuden. If you know, Naruto Shippuden is not a manga. It's just called Naruto. All the volumes leading up to Naruto. Naruto Shippuden. But, yeah, it's one of the greatest of all time. I hands down, no questions asked. One Piece, you guys already know how I feel about One Piece. One Piece is one of the greatest manga of all time. We talk about it weekly. No reason to even go into it. If you're caught up in my reviews, you know why. One Piece is not just about the treasure. It's about like the adventure. You know, all the characters get stronger together. It's not like nobody gets left behind. Like in Naruto or Bleach, also in the top 3, or Dragon Ball, also in the top 3, or Grandfather. Dragon Ball Z, they leave their characters behind besides Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, and Gohan. Naruto, besides Naruto, Sasuke, you get left behind. Bleach, if you're not Ichigo, you're left behind. Or the captains, you get left behind. So, yeah, One Piece is a peak for that. And plus, that's peak storytelling. If you're not caught up on One Piece, follow, what's her name? Follow either Mangastorian or Murphy Naper. They do excellent reviews and thoughts on every chapter of One Piece or bulk chapters of One Piece. So it'll give you a better idea. Those are two recommendations I give for One Piece if you're not watching my channel. One Punch Man. I love the humor in One Punch Man. I think it's one of the greatest manga of all time. I love the gag that like one punch can destroy all his enemies, but there are times where he has to use like consecutive punches. I think it was in season 1. He says this enemy's so strong I have to use consecutive punches. That gag was hilarious. I love the fact that he's like, oh, this guy's too strong. I have to use more than one punch. It's great. But it also has like great humor. Like King, who has no powers at all, but people think like he's super strong because of like his reputation. Like people just run away when he's around, but like he just wanted to buy a video game. That episode made me roll on the floor laughing. Or Saitama trying to catch a fly and he's going all out. Or how Saitama even got that strong. He was like, oh, I did 1,000 push-ups a day, 1,000 squats a day. I ran for 1,000 miles every day. Hilarious. And it just made him bald and that made him powerful. Love it. Very hilarious. So let's move on. The Prince of Tennis. I think I'd watch it, but I definitely forgot about it. When Toonami came on, Prince of Tennis was one of the ones you would watch, but I just never watched it myself, so I can't tell you much about it. But yeah, it's definitely something worth checking out, but I've never seen it personally myself. But I do think like I would check it out. I just kind of forgot about it until I was making this list. Ooh, The Promised Neverland. If you have not seen The Promised Neverland, it is one of the greatest of all time. At least season 1. Do not quote me past season 1. But season 1 is literally Death Note with kids. These kids are so fucking smart. They're trapped in this orphanage for children, but they're being fed to demons who are basically, it's like they're like not hunting ground. It's like they're like their food supply, or like their pig pen or whatever. You know, like harvesting animals. They're harvesting children to eat them because children taste good while they're young. And so these kids are trying to escape. And how they escape is very creative. It's very cool. At least season 1. I've not watched season 2. I've heard season 2 is bad, but it is one of the greatest anime of all time. At least season 1. After that, we have Siren. Siren is a manga I finished. It has no anime adaptation that I know of. But what I read of Siren, I liked a lot. And it came out like 2005. It came out when I was in high school, or just a little bit after high school. I don't really know much to say about Siren, aside from read it yourself and get your own opinion. It's definitely creative. So these guys get a phone call from a telephone booth that tells them in the future everything's going to be destroyed. And getting this telephone call, they can change things in the present to alter the future. But every time they do, like something else just changes. Like things will get worse or things will get better slightly. But they're getting these phone calls to like try to change the future, and they have psychic powers, and the main character has like this power, like can void things. I forget. I have to read the manga and review it for you guys, but like it's very cool. But I don't remember much about it, so I can't put it in I love it, but I didn't definitely forget it. It's definitely something I remembered, so I'm gonna put that I liked it, but we'll review it for one day for the channel. Rave Master is one of the greatest manga of all time. If you have never seen Rave Master, I recommend it 100%. It is discontinued. You have to find it on eBay at this point. But it was the same guy that made Fairy Tail. So if you like Fairy Tail, you'll love Rave Master. You like Rave Master, you'll love Fairy Tail. Trust me. Hands down, Rave Master is one of the greatest of all time. It was one of the first ones I had picked up just based off the cover. And, you know, Plu's adorable. The way he uses powers, his Zord can transform, has 10 forms, but you use like Rave Stones to like make the Zord change into different. You add Rave Stones to the Zord to give it different abilities. Like the first one is like Explosion. You slam the Zord down and it causes the ground to explode. And then the enemies have Dark Stones, which is how they use their abilities, or Dark Raves, whatever. And like some of them have like the smoke ability. Like that's one of the first guys I fought. That's how I came up with Chaser or Chase Kuriai and Shobu Samurai and Shobu vs Shinry because of his ability. as well as like this guy that can like pull you through walls and like, or pull you through like solid objects and leave you there. It's one of his abilities. So it's definitely one of the greatest manga of all time that I read personally. Record of Ragnarok is new to me. I've not seen the manga. I've read the manga, but I've seen the anime, and I love it so far. Me and my brother Nick and my nephew Sean watched it like 2 years ago. I'm on season 2, waiting for season 3. And I think it's really great. I can't say it's the greatest of all time, but it's very creative. Some fights are boring and we zone out, but like the fight with Zeus versus Adam, the fight with Hercules versus the first guy, the fight with Hercules and well, no, that was Thor versus the first guy. The fight with Hercules versus Jack the Ripper was great. The fight between the world's biggest loser and Poseidon was amazing. There are some great fights in Record of Ragnarok. I definitely recommend people check it out. So give that a shot. Next up, we have Rosario Vampire. I liked it. Rosario Vampire is too sexual of an anime for me. It's the transformations are like always really sexual. It's like this human guy goes to the school for monsters. He got transferred there. He doesn't know how or why. And he's the only human, and all these monsters want him. Specifically, the girl monsters and the guy monsters want to kill him because he has the hottest girls around him. And it's because his blood tastes so good or whatever. I finished it. The ending was good, but I don't love it. Because again, it was too sexual for me. It was weird to read in public, or read at all. So I can't put it any higher. After that, we have Sandland. Sandland was reviewed recently. You guys know that I said I wanted more from Sandland, so I'm gonna put it, and I liked it. I enjoyed it, but I don't think it belongs any higher than liked it, just because I wanted more out of it. Go watch that video because it was very recent instead of waiting to hear me talk about it. So yeah, check that out. After that, we have Shaman King. Shaman King, the original, not the Netflix. Netflix did Shaman King injustice. Shaman King is only 50 episodes. And Netflix somehow cut down 50 episodes into 24 or less. I was like, how do you do that with an anime that's already short? Why would you do that? But the original Shaman King, GOAT anime. I picked it up because of the cover specifically in Books A Million one day. Never regretted it. The manga, however, never finished. It ends in like book 23 before we even get to the climax, but the anime finished. And I think the author put a note in there that he just got tired of drawing Shaman King or something like that. You know, because the manga artists, they work like multiple hours a day. So that's why it's understandable. But it sucks that like Shaman King will never get that like full representation that I think it deserves. But check it out. And the complete series is out on DVD. The original from 4Kids. Check it out. Oh, and the theme song, Shaman King, to be Shaman. I'm not going to sing anymore. But yeah, it's one of the greatest of all time. Soul Eater. I'm actually rewatching Soul Eater now with my nephew and my brother Nick. Soul Eater is one of the greatest of all time. It's very funny. The main character is Black Star. He wants to be stronger than God. Death the Kid, if things aren't symmetrical, he goes crazy. And then Maka, who's just like a natural leader, but her partner, Soul, is like kind of different from her. He has like a different personality. Soul Eater is one of the greatest of all times. It's, again, a short anime, probably 50 episodes or less. And I just think, like, people... Oh, well, there's a huge fan base out there for it. If you have not watched Soul Eater, I definitely recommend watching it. So, check that out. It's on Hulu. Zordon Online. I watched one episode, forgot it. I have nothing else to say. Tiger and Bunny. Tiger and Bunny is next. Tiger and Bunny is as far as I know, a Netflix anime. Or it was like a Netflix adapted anime. It is one of the funniest anime I've ever seen. Very creative. It's kind of like if My Hero Academia had like all support heroes, like support item heroes, because all these heroes have to use suits. Some of them have powers, but the main two guys, Bunny and Tiger, specifically can only use their powers for 1 minute, which increases their strength and abilities. But I find it very funny. I find it really creative. So for that reason, we're going to move Tiger and Bunny to one of the greatest of all time, the GOAT tier. Tokyo Ghoul. Read it, watched one episode, forgot it. I know there's Tokyo Ghoul fans out there, but I just couldn't watch it. Just couldn't get into it. Sorry about that. Next up, once again, we have another variation of Beyblade. It is Beyblade V-Force. Beyblade V-Force, just like G-Revolution and original Beyblade, is one of the greatest of all time. Again, even though the Beyblades don't change, this was actually the first season where like the character designs changed, and this is more like, probably more like eye appealing to people that are caught up, or like not caught up, people that are like watching Beyblade for the first time, the originals. This is probably the series that would first get you into it. Then you go back and watch Beyblade, the original. But yeah, V-Force animation looks so much better, cleaner, amazing. Yu-Gi-Oh! We all know hands down Yu-Gi-Oh! Is one of the greatest manga and anime of all time. It's to this day one of the most highest played card game. I mean, there's honestly not much else to say. It's just fucking amazing. I don't even need to explain why Yu-Gi-Oh! Is great. Just, if you're not playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Still to this day, that would surprise me, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Is one of the greatest of all time, in my opinion. Yu Yu Hakusho, another short anime, about 100 episodes. The reason why Yusuke is going in, the reason why Yu Yu Hakusho is going in the greatest of all time is because Yusuke don't give a fuck. Yusuke will fight a baby, he'll fight a grandma, he'll fight anybody if you get in his way. There are so many good scenes from Yu Yu Hakusho, so many great characters. Yusuke, his spirit gun, basically it looks like the Kamehameha, but it's its own unique thing. Then we have Kurama, who's a demon fox. Hiei, who uses the what was it, the Black Dragon Roar or something like that. Black Fire Dragon Roar. That inspired my Demon Strike ability. And then Kuwabara, the heart of the show, who uses Spirit Zord, which later turns into Dimensional Zords. If you've not seen Yu Yu Hakusho, they're making a live-action Netflix adaptation. I recommend watching the anime first because the live-action Netflix never really get them right. One Piece did okay, but I do think like the live-action animes, they could be better. So definitely check it out. After that, we have Zatch Bell. Zatch Bell is a... Oh, sorry. Hold on. Zatch Bell is a Reddit and love it. I finished the Zatch Bell manga. I liked it more. No, I liked it just about as much as those. Zatch Bell is a manga that never finished, as far as I know. I mean, I finished on Manga Stream, but like I don't know if it like finished in like published pages or like published books. But it's so fun. It originally inspired Keto Gourmet's ability from Shobu vs. Shinry, the Sword of Light, because we made Keto a alchemist who had a spell book, and he would read spell books. He'd read his abilities from his spell book and cast them like Zatch Bell, but without a partner. He would just do it himself. And so that's why Zatch Bell. I'm gonna move Zatch Bell up to greatest of all time. I think it was really creative, especially like having a puppet. Or a Mamoto specifically, be your partner, and then having a spellbook to fight with, and then burning your opponent's spellbook was how you won. You didn't even have to use your Mamoto to attack the spellbook. You could literally go up to them while your Mamoto's fighting, shank the nigga, and burn his book. And I thought that would make you laugh, Kwame. But yeah, that's how Zatch Bell was. And check it out if you haven't. There should be some Zatch Bell episodes out there. After that, we have Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. I watched it and liked it. I never finished it. I got like pretty far in, but this is about where I stopped being into the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime. I know there's like another one called Arc V5, but never got into it past that. But Yuma was a unique character. He was cool, but just couldn't get into the show past a certain point. So for that reason, it's just go in, read it and liked it, or watched it and liked it. After that, we have T. Kubo's Zombie Powder. I read 2 mangas of this, and I forgot it. Because I just couldn't find it anymore, especially at the time that it came out. I just could not find it anywhere. But I know that manga exists out there. And maybe T. Kubo finished it, maybe he didn't. Or maybe it was a super short one, but we're going to leave it at Reddit and forgot it, because I did forget about it till I was making this list. After that, we have Spy Family. Spy Family is one of the most hilarious anime I've ever seen. I've not finished it. I'm on season 1, but Anna, her mother, and even whatever his name is, he's pretty funny. But Anna sells the show for me. I can't stop laughing every time she's on screen. So for that reason, it's going one of the greatest of all time. And we're gonna move on. We got a few more left, and we gotta wrap this up pretty fast. After that, we have Zom 100. Zom 100 is a new anime I'm getting introduced to through the anime on Netflix. But I like the premise. I think it's creative. I think the blood spatter being colorful is a very unique take. And for that reason, because I'm having so much fun with it, I'm going to put it in greatest of all time. Just because I'm having so much fun with specifically Zom 100. And like I said, the colorful paints. And his motivation is pretty fun. So for that reason, I'm going to put it pretty high. Ooh, Tower of God. I actually liked this when I first started, but Tower of God is a Reddit, and I kind of forgot it because here you go, bro. It's a Reddit, and I forgot it because there are so many things that happen in Tower of God. You know, like in Dragon Ball, there's always the next guy that's stronger. This guy's stronger than the last guy I fought. He's way strong. Tower of God does that every chapter. Every time somebody's introduced, they're like way stronger than the guy you fought before that. And Bam is this endless evolving character. He's a bottomless pit of power. Let me put it this way. There's a thing called the Great Leviathan. In Tower of God, there are levels. Like, obviously, you have to climb the top. The premise of Tower of God is climbing to the top of the tower, defeating the person called God, Jagan or something, and, you know, becoming the new, either escaping outside, I don't know how it's going to end, or defeating Jagan and becoming the king of the tower. But the higher you climb, the stronger these guys are, like, vastly stronger. I don't mean, like, slightly stronger. I'm not saying like Super Saiyan 1 to like Super Saiyan 1.5. No, Super Saiyan 1 to like Super Saiyan 70. And then Super Saiyan 70 to Super Saiyan 77,000. That's how Tower God jumps. But there was a thing called the Leviathan, which was an insane creature everybody was afraid of. And then Bam, in the last chapter I read, was like, I'm gonna absorb its power and take it for myself. And we were like, oh shit, Bam's gonna reach the peak of his power because Bam is taking this creature that everybody's afraid of on this like tower level. The creature gets absorbed, and then the creature is inside Bam's mind. And the creature, which is fucking huge, says in Bam's mind, there is so much space in here. That is the most bullshit Captain Marvel shit I had ever heard, and I had just stopped reading. I was like, Bam is just an unlimited, he can solo the entire Shonen Jump verse. Bam probably could, because he has unlimited potential. But I forgot about it because I'm never going to read it again because I got bored. So that's why it's going in Reddit, but probably we're going to forget about it. After that, we have My Hero Academia. I don't hate it. I don't love it. But I like it more than the like it list. We're going to put My Hero Academia in love it tier. I know some people would say My Hero Academia is one of the greatest manga of all time, but if you've seen my reviews, I haven't liked everything that's been happening. It is great, don't get me wrong, but it's just not the greatest of all time to me. It's not up there. Maybe by the time it ends, my list will change, but where it's at now, no, it's not the greatest of all time. After that, we have Claymore. Claymore is a anime/manga that my first boyfriend introduced me to, and I forgot about. Not much else to say. It was different for sure. I think it was short. I think it was like 2 seasons, 13 episodes apiece, but just forgot about it. So, we're moving on. Oh, and also there was an anime called Needless. I would have put Needless in Like It. I don't have that for this one, but I'll probably add it later, but we'll add Needless to Like It tier. Needless was a short anime as well. And High School of the Dead, forgot that one. We'll add that one in there too, and we'll add it to Like It. So those two, just know that I'm going to sprinkle those in there somewhere. Or I'm going to sprinkle them into Reddit/liked it at the end of the video. After that, we have Rurouni Kenshin. Read it and forgot it. I like that he used a backwards blade because he wanted to cut his opponents. that actually inspired something later in Yakuba's Untold Story, my 15th book. I had this guy who used 2 Zord style, but he used the back of his blades. He didn't want to cut his opponent. He didn't want to get blood on his Zords. And I know Runin Kenshin has a reason for that, but I actually just kind of forgot about that manga and anime. And I can't lie, I don't want to make this list a lie and say like it's one of the greatest of all time when I forgot about it. And especially on a subjective list. So I did forget, I can't lie. After that, we have Torokyo. I read it and forgot it. I don't want to say it's a skippable. I mean, in my opinion. Would I read Torokyo, though? Maybe. It was kind of humorous. It was kind of like Bobo at the time. Torokyo, this guy would fight with, like, this is a fork or a knife to him. He cuts with this, and then, like, a fork was, like, the scissor sign. I don't know. He fought with his hands, but it was about collecting food around the world and making the perfect food or some shit like that. Forgot about it, but I mean that's why it's in the forgot tier. Read it, forgot it. So you know, Burn the Witch was a T-Kubo spinoff of Bleach. I didn't like it, so I'm gonna put in skip it. I'm sorry, T-Kubo. Love you, Bleach, love you, but I just didn't care for that. Sorry, T-Kubo. You might get mad at me. Sorry. After that, we have... God damn it. After that, we have Kingdom Hearts, the manga. It's going in skip it. As someone that read the Kingdom Hearts manga when it first came out, I can tell you, that manga cannot... to even explain Kingdom Hearts, you have to have the story so far, the game on PS4 or PS3, whatever, or play it from if you play from the originals. You know, Kingdom Hearts lore is so convoluted as fuck. You will explain something to somebody and they'll be like, okay, forget what I just said. And they'll be like, what? And you'll be like, I know, just go with it, because that is the Kingdom Hearts lore. I love the game. We have a review coming up about Kingdom Hearts the game later, but the manga, skip it. Boruto Blue Vortex. So far, skip it. It's dumb. I don't care what you say. You know what I think about Boruto Blue Vortex. Skip it. The 7 Deadly Sins. Only seen the anime. And I got bored. Every time. So I skipped it. I'm probably never going to watch the 7 Deadly Sins. Maybe someone will convince me, but I don't care about it. Boruto the manga. I like it. You guys know my thoughts on Boruto. Before we got to the time skip, I liked Boruto. Towards the end with Baryon mode and Naruto losing his ass and Sasuke losing his Rinnegan and Naruto being sealed away and there being a random time skip, I had a problem with. And Ida's powers and Damien whooping their ass and Code being hyped up, had a problem with it. But I did like Boruto, especially in the beginning. So that's why it's going to go in the I like it tier. After that, we have Chainsaw Man. I like it. I don't love Chainsaw Man. I know there's fans for it, but it's just not my thing. Very sexual anime. But it's funny. And his powers are creative and his motivations are creative. He just wants to eat food. And so I like it for that reason. So it's going in the like it tier for that. Double Decker. I forgot the premise of this. I know they were detectives or something. But I like his theme. Like, don't think, feel so good. Like, that's his motivation. So I'm going to put it in Reddit / watched it and loved it. Because I did love Double Decker when I watched it. I watched it with Silver. He's the one that introduced me to it. So for that reason, it's going to go in that tier. After that, we have Persona 4, the animation. I loved it. I want to review Persona 5, but that would be me playing the game for the 4th time. So I beat Persona 5 once. Then I beat Persona 5 again to max out my stats. Then Persona 5 Royale came out, and I beat that, maxed out all my stats again, and told myself I'm never playing Persona 5 again. Except now I review video games as well on my channel, so we're going to play Persona 5 again for the 4th time. So, Persona 5 got me to watch Persona 4, the animation, and it was great. Didn't play Persona 4, the game. Never played any Personas before the Persona 5, but it was great. One of the greatest of all time, I have to say. Seraph of the End. Watched it, forgot about it. Sorry, Galen. I forgot about Persona 5, or I forgot about Seraph of the End. I did. Next up, these last two you might not think are anime related, but because they technically fit into they were made in Japan, they fit into that manga / anime kind of vibe. Avatar: Last Airbender, we already know, one of the greatest of all time, hands down. And then Sonic X, once again, one of the greatest of all time. Probably the best Sonic adaptation we had. Taking Sonic Adventure 2 Battle into an anime, oh, fucking amazing. Even if you didn't play Sonic Adventure 2, even if you didn't play Sonic Adventure 2 Battle or Sonic Adventure 1, you can watch Sonic X and get the same context that those games had, except the gameplay. You can get the same context. And I loved it for that. And I can't wait for Sonic 3. Watch our Sonic 3 video. I'm going to make sure, well, I'm not going to link it, but make sure find our Sonic 3 video on this channel. Check it out. It's so good. We speculate what we think is going to be in Sonic Adventure, Sonic the third movie with Shadow the Hedgehog. And that is our list. Again, I'm going to add High School of the Dead and the Like It. And the other one I said, I'm going to add that. I had both of them in here. But that is our tier list. That's the end of our video. I know it's pretty long. I hope you guys stayed to the end. If you didn't, that's okay. But we'll talk to you guys next time. The next thing I have coming out is going to be the BioShock review, which isn't the major game that's coming out, but it is one of the bigger games. And then we have this huge game review, which I'm going to tease very soon, but I want to have it out by Christmas. But anyways, guys, I got to get going, so that's all for now. We'll go into the sponsor part of the video, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace. Hey, guys, this video was sponsored by me, the author of the Shinry series, the Chronicles of Wayne, and Monsterverse. So I figured I'd do this outro a little bit different by showing you guys what you guys will be checking out. So, the Shinry series starts with Book 1, Shobu Samurai Project Aryoku. 10 years after the death of his parents, Shobu Samurai returns home seeking vengeance, but instead faces a choice to save his home from shadow creatures, blood beasts, and an organization once thought dead. Shinry's Shobu Samurai starts at $9.99, and if you love anime, manga, Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, Yu Yu Hakusho, Fairy Tail, Shaman King, Rave Master, Zatch Bell, anything like that, the Shinry series is definitely the series for you. You'll definitely want to check it out. The Sword of Light is probably the thickest one so far, and then these books are 2. This is Enter the Dread Zone Tournament, and the series original ending, Arado the Legendary Konjuis Master. So, and I'll just show you guys some of the covers. Really proud of all of these, but I hope you guys check it out. If you don't like that, I also have the current published books for the Chronicles of Wayne, Love Be Damned, Cotton Candy, Full Moons, Fabled Lovers, A Cursed Virgin's Bite. If You Go Where Monsters Dance, Red will Rain Over Your House. Love Be Damned. Now, the Chronicles of Wayne is about a geeky guy, or a nerdy guy in high school. His senior year, he has a crush on the hottest guy in school, because of course he does. He's only got one best friend, and her name is Barb. Well, the hottest guy in school turns out to be a werewolf. And to make the story more interesting, he bites Wayne and turns Wayne into the first ever wolfman in the last 10 years. And because of that, it was also a sacred law that wolfmen should never be created. I don't want to get into too much of the Chronicles of Wayne without spoiling it, but I can tell you it's very short. This one sells for $6.99, and Love Be Caged right after it. The ending of this trilogy, Love Be Liberated, comes out in October. So I'm going to definitely do a more full in-depth review of this one. But yeah, it's an LGBT fantasy fiction story about werewolves, vampires, white witches, a dark warlock, and, well, many, many more surprises to come. So if you guys like to read, I definitely recommend. These are all the books so far in the Shinry series, except for Shinry's Beginning. I do have that one, but it's just not here with me. But yeah, I appreciate a like, support, or just a review on Amazon. Either way, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe.